everyone, and welcome to this week's Spelling Splash. Now, we have got 3 tricky words for you, as always, this week. And then next week, we're going to be trying something different because we are going to try and remember all the tricky words that we have learnt in our spelling splashes. And we're going to see how many we can learn to spell and recall. So you've got 3 more new ones to learn this week before we have a recap next week. So let's have a little look at our first word. Remember, Trixie loves these words, so we cannot sound them out, even though we might want to use our Fred fingers. Okay, are you ready? My turn, your turn. Where? Where? Brilliant, as in, where are you going? Now, if we did use our Fred fingers, we might want to use the sound air. That's not fair because we know that from our read, write, ink lessons and from using our Fred fingers. But our tricky word does not have our special friends. We've got to remember that there's a cheeky after the and there's also 3 letters that don't sound like air. We've got an E, R, E. So we'll come back to that one in a moment and see my silly sentence. Where? Okay, the next one is friend. My turn, your turn. Friend. Friend. Brilliant, as in my friend is coming round to tea on Saturday. Friend. Now, the bit that you can't hear in friend is the cheeky I, friend. You can kind of sound it out, but then if you did, you would have forgotten the I. We've got to remember there's a cheeky I in the word friend. I love my friends. That's how I try and remember it. I've got to remember there's an I in friend. Okay, and the last one before we have a look at our silly sentences is house. House. Well done. Now you can see that we've actually got the ow shouted out and actually looks and sounds right. Ow. But it's the cheeky F on the end that we need to remember. So you can remember ow, shout it out, but you've got to remember that house has got a cheeky E on the end. Okay, let's see if I can share my screen. And we're going to have a little look at those 3 words again in my silly sentences. And we're going to start with the first one, where. That was a nice spelling splash surprise. Let's see if we can now get on to our first word, which is where. Where are you going? And if you have a little look in the corner of my screen, you will see I've got a horse. And he has got a very smelly egg next to him. And it's smelly because it's rotten. So I've come up with a silly phrase which says, wild horses eat rotten eggs. I've got my for wild, for horses, F for eat, for rotten, and F for eggs. Wild horses eat rotten eggs. Where? That's how I'm going to remember to spell the word where. Wild horses eat rotten eggs. Okay, let's have a look at friend. Now remember I said I, so I've got to remember I love my friends. That's the cheeky letter that's trying to trick us out. But I've got a fox and he is running into his home and his home is a den. So I've got my sentence here. Foxes run in empty, narrow dens. So let's have a look. I've got my for fox, my for run, my if for in, F for empty, N for narrow, and my D for dens. Foxes run in empty, narrow dens. And there's my fox in the corner running into his empty, narrow den. So that's my second silly sentence to help me try and remember friends. And our last one for the week is house. And I've got my elf back with me, but he's got some oranges. So let's have a look at the sentence that I've created. Hide oranges under small elves. I've got my for hide, O for oranges, A for under, S for small, and F for elves. Hide oranges under small elves. And that's how I'm going to remember to spell the word house. Now, as always in our videos, we're going to have a bit of a practice together. So if you want to pause the video and go and get a pen or pencil and a piece of paper, or if you've got your whiteboards and your whiteboard pens, you can pause the video now and come back when you're ready. Okay, everybody. Now remember, when we are doing our practice spellings, we're looking to make sure we spell the word right, but we also use our brilliant, brilliant handwriting. So make sure you've got your pinchy fingers on your pencil ready, because we're going to have a go at spelling the word house. The wolf blew the house down. Now remember, we're going for hide oranges under small elves. House. Are you ready? Let's write it down. Hide oranges under small elves. Or make sure you've got 5 letters in that word house for me. And let's have a look at our boards in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a little look. I've got my nice tool for hide oranges under small elves. Uh-oh, I got a bit excited with my F there. I got a bit big towards the end. I think it needs to go in my yellow lines. Well done if you spotted my mistake. That's better. So all my letters are sitting in between the yellow lines. So they're at the top and the bottom of the yellow line, apart from my nice tool, because that is an ascender. So it needs to sit nice up in the air, nice and tall in the air. So well done if you spelled house correctly, but you also had your best handwriting. Okay, rub it off or find the next space on your piece of paper or the line, because we're going to practice one more before we come up with some ideas to help you at home. So let's have a go for, friend. And some of you, if you're in my class, might have even heard us say fry end, because we're trying to remember that I sound in there. Okay, let's remember our silly sentence. We've got foxes run in empty, narrow dens. Foxes run in empty, narrow dens. Are you ready? Let's write it down. Foxes run in empty, narrow dens. Oh, now remember, you've got to have 6 letters in that word, 6 letters. Are we ready to have a little look together? Show me in 3, 2, 1. Friends. Let's have a look. I've got my foxes run in empty, narrow dens. Well done if you got all 6 letters. And I wonder if you've spotted, I'm going to be really picky with my handwriting now. Have a look at my d. Is it tall enough? Is it as high as my? It's not, is it? I've got to remember that when I do all of my tall letters, they all have to be the same height on that white top line. So well done if you spotted that my d needed to be a little bit taller. Brilliant work. Well done, year one. So you're going to try and spell those 3 words this week at home. Where, friends, and house. Now, we've come up with some ideas before to play hide and seek and hide the words. We've had a go at playing pairs or maybe snap at home. Now, I wonder this week if you could have a go at maybe tricking somebody else out at your house and seeing if they can find the missing letter. So have a look at my word where and think, what letter am I missing there? Wild horses eat rotten. So it should be a eggs. So you could have a go at writing our words out and leaving out a missing letter and see if you can trick anybody at home to try and find the missing letter. And then they could have a go at doing the same puzzle for you. And you've got to see if you can find the letter that is missing. So let's share my screen one more time because we're just going to see when our next spelling splash is in school. So practice lots and lots this week because on Friday, the 21st of May, we are going to have our little spelling splash test in our classroom. So we'll be practicing in school all week. You have a practice at home, and then we will see if we can spell friend, house, and where in our spelling test on Friday, the 21st of May. So have lots of fun practicing. Be careful not to get tricked out, and we will look forward to doing our spelling splash test on Friday. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.